Alex Jones was right. Everything he was trying to warn us about in terms of the mass surveillance state and the global cabal of elite pedophiles, he was right. However, he has jumped ship and he is now on the side of the global elite and the, the swamp, the globalists. He's on their side now. But as we know, Palantir, which is the super surveillance company that's trying to create a AI supercomputer that is 24 hours, 7 days of the week, constantly combing the internet for everything you have ever posted and anything you ever will post so that they can preemptively arrest you for thought crime. And no, I'm not kidding. They are now saying this. They are publicly saying this on Fox News because, as I said yesterday, the Republicans immediately weaponized the fact that the shooter in Minneapolis was a trans person. And they are declaring war on all trans people. And Palantir saw this, specifically, what the fuck is his name? Something Cohen? Aaron Cohen? Aaron Cohen, who is he's an Israeli special operations veteran who is pitching the fucking Palantir supercomputer to detect thought crime on Fox News, and they're getting closer and closer. It seems like next week we're going to have that, Big Brother. Big Brother is going to show up next week in terms of a supercomputer that's constantly surveilling. So we have some footage that I want to show you from Fox News. And before we do, let me just remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Also, please help the channel financially. This is real independent media. I have no funding. I have no advertisers. I've never had a conversation with a billionaire or a government or any of that shit. So if you want to support the channel, a couple of ways you could do it. You could become a patron on Patreon for $5 a month. You could become a member here on YouTube for $5 a month. You could buy merch down below, like that Democratic Socialist poster. You can use the 40% off discount code for Ground News in the description below, and you can hit that thanks button to donate directly to the channel. Thank you very much for 86,000 subs. We're inching closer and closer to 100K, getting that fucking YouTube play button. But without further ado, let's dive right into this crazy bullshit here. I want you to watch this. So first thing I want to show you is the guy. This is from June 2nd, 2025. This is when he came out and started begging Trump to deploy Palantir, and he's back on Fox. I want you to watch this.
And the threats to Jews, if Iran has a nuclear weapon, just imagine that for Israel. But I'm more concerned about what's happening in America, frankly, Sean. And this is where these attacks, don't think for a second they're going to stop with Jews. These pro-Hamas supporters in the United States, they want to kill all of us. And they're not going to make a distinction between Americans and Christians. What makes you think there won't be more attacks? This administration needs to step up the deportations of foreign citizens who lied to come here, who weren't properly vetted by the Biden or previous administrations, and throw them out of the country if they have any pro-Hamas sympathies.
So, by the way, what he's saying there is, when he says pro-Hamas sympathies, he means pro-Palestine. And guys, I know it sounds insane. I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not kidding and I'm not wrong. Anybody and everybody who is in support of Palestinian action will be labeled as a terrorist and an enemy of the state. That includes me. You know, I fully support Palestinian action. I support Palestinian resistance against their Israeli oppressors. But that will declare me as an enemy of the state, and the day will come where we will be labeled as terrorists. You need to start understanding the world you're moving into. You are not safe.
I would say, Aaron, no enrichment. I think their facilities have to be dismantled. I think
this is about Iran. This is back when the United States was bombing Iran.
There's got to be
at the behest of Israel.
Where any place, anytime, American inspectors, there can be others, but American inspectors need full access.
We already had American inspectors giving full access to the IAEA.
I'm not sure the Iranian regime will ever agree to that. I'll give you the last 30 seconds.
Sean, I agree with you 100%. Full act.
This is the guy, Aaron Cohen. This is the Israeli special ops veteran who is pitching the Palantir supercomputer.
Access to inspections. Iran cannot inch closer to a nuclear weapon. To what Ari said, the problem here is growing exponentially. Let me say this. I have just built, Sean, the first AI-powered threat detection system for law enforcement that scans the open web.
By the way, there's a movie about this threat detection system. I think it's called Minority Report. I don't remember. I know Tom Cruise is in it. There's a movie about this back in the 90s about a AI supercomputer system that detects future crimes, right? It can see the future and it starts arresting people in mass based on like, oh, in 5-10 years, you're going to be a criminal, right? And the whole movie is about the fact that the AI computer is wrong and these people are not going to be criminals. They are just dissidents of the, you know, the powers that be. And that is what we're moving into. If you do not support the Fuhrer, they're going to say that based on their information, you're going to shoot up a school. Therefore, you're under arrest.
For radicalization and tactical planning. And if somebody in the Trump administration is listening, partner with me and let's scale this.
Dude, Trump himself is listening. You're on Fox News.
And get local law enforcement the tools they need. My technology will prevent these threats from popping off. You have to get in front of these. The technology's here. The Israeli model meets Palantir quality engineering, and I've got it, and the White House needs to give me a buzz, and let's get this thing scaled nationally, and it's called Gideon.
So this is on June 2nd, 2025, all right? And I want to show you just how it has been weaponized. This is from 11 hours ago, okay? This is after the mass shooting. That same fucking bald rat. Watch.
Trace, as you know, correct, 100%, and she's 100% correct. I am now about to launch Gideon, America's first ever AI threat detection platform built specifically for law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli-grade ontology to...
Israeli grade. Does that mean it kills children? Because when I hear Israeli grade, all I think of is that you don't hesitate to snipe babies.
Pull specific threat language and then routes it to local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
24 hours, 7 days a week detective that never sleeps, constantly monitoring and scraping the internet for radical language in order to preemptively stop crime. Brothers, we are now in the age where they're going to arrest you for thoughts. That's what we're in. Democracy is dead.
Have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not launching until next week. I've got a dozen agencies on board, Trace. I just unloaded a major Northeast agency with over 2,700 sworn. This is America's early warning system.
Lieutenant Mark.
It's really fucking scary. Now, The Guardian has a good article on this that we're going to read a little bit. Palantir's tools pose an invisible danger that we are just beginning to comprehend. This is by Juan Sebastian Pinto. This shit scares the fuck out of me. All right, so this is an opinion piece in the beginning here, but I want to move into the middle here. The law enforcement agency uses targeting technologies, which one of my past employers, Palantir Technologies, has both pioneered and proliferated. Tools I was once charged with illustrating as a graphic designer and writer, yet the consequences of which I am just coming to understand. Although largely invisible, technology like Palantir's plays a major role in world events, from wars in Iran, Gaza, and Ukraine, to the detainment of immigrants and dissident students in the United States. But despite its ubiquity, lawmakers, technologists, and the media are failing to protect people from the threat of this particular kind of weaponized AI and its consequences, partly because they haven't recognized it by name. Known as intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance, ISTAR systems, these tools built by several companies will allow users to track, detain, and, in the context of war, kill people at scale with the help of AI. Now, it's important to notice that the reason why that guy, Aaron Cohen, is an Israeli Special Forces operator, right, is because the Israelis have already been using AI to target and destroy Palestinian civilians. They have an AI system that they have nicknamed Where's Daddy, because they keep on killing so many people that a very common saying being heard in Gaza is, Where's Daddy? Because their father has been blown up into pink mist by the genocidal Israeli dogmen. The Israelis use autonomous targeting systems. They use facial recognition to determine whether somebody is a military-aged male. And in Israel, they have decided that any male over the age of 18 in Gaza is Hamas. I'm not joking. That's not opinionated. You can look this up. Israel has declared that every single male above the age of 18 in Gaza is Hamas. So they're killing all of them. Every single one, using facial recognition combined with an autonomous targeting drone to go target acquired and immediately lock on and hit them with a bomb that also kills 100 civilians around them, because according to Israel, 100 civilians is considered an appropriate amount of collateral damage. But back to the United States, that is what we're moving into. They want to have these drones flying around your city using facial recognition to declare who is and isn't an enemy of the state. And then they'll probably deploy those new Tesla bots, where Elon Musk said he wants at least 1 billion Tesla bots running around the United States by the year 2030. They will all be linked up to the Palantir system, and they will be the new law enforcement. Now, I know everything I said sounds crazy. We live in a crazy world. The invisible nature of these surveillance structures and how they influence our lives is part of the reason the public understanding of what these tools do is so murky. It is also, however, what drew me to work for Palantir as an architecture writer. It was a chance to get to know the digital space where many people spend most of their lives today. Working with cloud software in offices, driving new cars in our commutes, doom scrolling on social media at home, we all feed vast amounts of data to surveillance and targeting programs created by big tech, which we often don't realize until it's too late. This is why I continue trying to convey and illustrate how these E-Star applications violate our civil rights and autonomy in increasingly perverse and violent ways. The dragnets powered by iStar technologies trap more than migrants and combatants, as well as their families and connections in their wake. They appear to violate First and Fourth Amendment rights, first by establishing vast and invisible surveillance networks that limit the things people feel comfortable sharing in public, including whom they meet or where they travel, and second, by enabling warrantless searches and seizures of people's data without their knowledge or consent. They are rapidly depriving some of the most valuable populations in the world, political dissidents, migrants, or residents of Gaza, of their human rights. Listen, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think we're actually cooked. And when I say we're cooked, I don't mean like there's no hope left. I mean there's no hope left in the system. You're not going to rally the base and vote your way out of this in the ballot box. That's not happening, and you need to accept reality. The midterms, the 2028 election, they will not allow ballots to tell them what to do. You can look at Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Pete Hackett and all these people, and you truly believe that a piece of paper that says we voted for somebody else is enough to get these men to walk out of the Oval Office, to walk out of the White House without being forced to. You're naive, child. You're right, Beans. There's only one way out of this, and I think you know what it is. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And also, do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.